Hit it.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and call the meeting to order. This is a capital outlay meeting for Coffee County. And we're in conference room 1. This is December the 5th at 4 o'clock. And we're ready to take the roll. The roll's been taken. Everybody is present, except for Rick Sorsey. He could not be here tonight. But I have his report as far as what we need to know on it. We need to approve the agenda, which we have a modification I want to make on the agenda, which is adding on new business, and it will be 7B, which will be HVAC units for the Coffee County Jail, and that's what we'll list it as, and that will be 7B.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion made to approve the agenda as amended and seconded. All in favor say aye. 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 Motion approved. It's got me walking.
That's all right.
When do we need to do that other minutes?
Oh, we can do it at C under
Okay.
unfinished.
Motion to approve the modified minutes or the minutes from the previous meeting on 11/7. Has everybody got a chance to read those?
Mm-hmm.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Reed,
Second.
second by Commissioner Brown. Anybody got any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion approved. Any public comments? Aaron? Speak now. Okay, let's move on to item number 6A, which is unfinished old business, and it's welcome signs at the county lines. We have received the adjusted price as we had recommended to James Harden Sign Company, and with the design that we picked, and they've sent back the quote for each one of those. I'll pass this to everybody, let everybody take a look at that. That is his quote for the signs as we picked it and designed. Is that right? Ain't that right, Tim?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I've got a comment that I want everybody to.
Okay. Can you explain the difference in the $500 difference in the price for them?
The one that's more expensive is a material that has to be painted and a lot of prep time on it, so, and the other one's already painted. It's baked on, so he said it's ready to go, so it's just cheaper to do the already one that's prepped or coated.
They were pre-finished, the post, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And it,
Each
each,
sign.
yes. Which is it for 4? Right off the bat. That's how much it is for all of them?
That was for all of them.
11?
Yeah, that's for 11.
Okay.
I got a question.
Yes.
This, the most expensive quote doesn't mention the post.
The posts are 4-inch aluminum square
This
posts.
quote does have.
Yeah, they're both the same though. I think the other one just,
Doesn't.
yeah. It's the
They might have
same,
just overlooked it, but that's the price with the post.
yeah,
4 is $11,195.
yeah.
And I want to comment on that. Sure. If I can, now.
Yeah.
Just a suggestion, since the money's gonna be coming out of the tourism money,
Uh-huh.
I'm assuming that's where, as far as budget and finances.
We ain't
is
got
gonna
that far yet.
We haven't got to that
Either
point.
that or we do have sign money.
right? I just wanna say, if we get 4 and we wait 6 months down the line before we do others,
Yep.
the price on them is gonna be a lot more expensive, so why don't we just do them all? We're gonna do them all anyway, why not just go ahead and budget it and go with it? Instead of paying $5,000 more probably 6 months later. That's just my suggestion.
Tina, what was that 27 price? 27.98.
Cause we got $300,000 in that tourism money.
What we're looking at, 4 or 7?
We're looking at 11.
11 signs?
Yes, sir. Up to 11. I think that's what we had
Right.
looked at, yes.
11 will be $30,786.36.
Say again.
More than the sign.
Frank, say again.
11 is $30,786.36. 4 is $11,195.04. And that 11 is 55 in Tullahoma, 55 in Warren County, 41A in Tullahoma, both sides, 41, both sides, 53, 127, both sides, and 64, both sides.
You got 41 both sides,
Yeah.
Grundy and.
Yeah, Grundy and Rutherford. And then 64, Cannon and Bedford, Tullahoma, Moore and Franklin, Warren, then Warren again on 127, and Franklin again on 127, so.
I've got a question.
Yes, sir.
In 41A, at least on the Bedford Moore side of Tullahoma, would that not be in the municipal boundaries of Tullahoma city limits?
It's the same, yeah. When
It
you
would
hit
be
it,
in the city
yeah, when you
limits.
hit that sign, it says, "Welcome to Coffee County,
So,
Tullahoma city
Do
limits."
we need to go before their planning commission first and be sure we can do it, or what they're gonna say about us putting a sign in the city limit? They have sign language, I know.
They
Yeah,
do.
they do, so it probably would.
And they may say, oh, you guys are exempt, we're good with that, but I feel like it'd be appropriate to at least ask them. And I would like to say, there's $30,000 total in our sign budget, which takes care of replacing street signs in the county. So this would totally erase that line item if we're not real careful, so.
Is that put in there yearly?
It is.
How much we have in, do you know how much we have in the tourism?
I don't, it's 300,000-400,000, I think.
300-something thousand.
And I know we're probably gonna hit around 10 on it for the lighting at the courthouse under tourism. I think that's what we were doing, wasn't it, Jimmy?
What was it now? What was the
The
question?
courthouse lighting, I think we were talking about doing that under tourism too, wasn't we?
We talked about it.
Yeah. I think that's how we addressed it going to the budget and finance. I'm sure they'll address it on how they
But
want
if
to
we
go from
passed
there.
it and went to budget finance,
They-
that's where more discussion would happen as
Exactly.
far as where it would come from.
Mm-hmm.
And if,
But we could
Split it.
wait till after the budgeted year. If we do this, we could wait. If we had to, we could wait on the other for next year. If it's 30,000 a year, we could do that, right? On the courthouse, or if we had to, because
Well, actually, the
we had budgeted up to-
30,000, the
That's-
30,000 is a carryover that was unspent from the prior budget year, because, I don't think
we had a lot of replacement.
that's right.
I think we'd budget up to 10,000 on the courthouse, but we was only going to do half because we're going to do the north and the south side, right?
Yeah, we approved up to 10,000.
Yeah.
That's correct.
That way, if we liked the front and the back, we could then just go ahead and have him do the other sides
Exactly.
without having to appropriate other money.
So can we send like two different things to budget and finance? One for 6 signs and one for 11?
Not a bad idea.
Because if they knock down the 11, they might go for the 6 between the tourists and the leftover
55.
signs.
41. What are you thinking, 55?
I'm just thinking 6 signs.
Just 6,
We gotta
period.
hit 41.
You gotta hit 41, 55,
You gotta hit 55.
and so
41, 55, 53 would be one sign, Highway 53.
Yeah.
So there's 5. And then 41A would be 2 more, 7
So you
would
could
be
do
the
7.
minimum,
I,
wouldn't it?
yeah, I just seen
So
what
we
you were
do
gonna is
7 or 11.
So where were the other 4 going?
That's 127 and 64. 127 Hillsborough, and then 64 in Beech Grove.
State 64.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we just did the state highways. We didn't do none of the
Right.
little arteries that come in.
Is that what
So
we-
do 7, send an option of 7 or 11.
I'd rather do them all. If I find something on sale, I'm gonna buy it today and not wait till
Well,
sale
I
goes off.
understand that, but we also have to go to budget and finance, so we're gonna put the 11 in. If
Yeah.
Budget
Yeah, but
goes
we-
forward, great.
Yeah,
If
but we got
not,
$300,000
maybe we
that's
have a
never gonna
backup.
be spent, so why
Maybe-
not just spend a
maybe-
little bit?
Well, I
Maybe
got a
we-
question.
maybe
If
we
we
could work-
just, what if we just send the 11 and then, in the discussion at budget and
Let them knock
finance,
it down.
If they have to.
if they have to, then say, well, we'd like to at least have 7 to get the major arteries.
I'm just scared that it's gonna scare them right off the bat, because we're also going with other stuff to the budget too, ain't we?
But that's money coming from somewhere that's never gonna
Yeah.
be spent,
Exactly.
that we ain't never gonna spend it.
Maybe we could go to James and ask James if he could give us if we took 7 and give us an extension for a year on 11, he might do it, maybe.
I mean, he might, but then,
Cost of material goes up all the time,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, it's hard to do that.
I mean, it is, it's
I
hard.
mean-
I could see him not being able to because of the price of materials.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say just send the 11,
That's what I'm thinking. But, you know, it's up,
and then
up
during
to
the
this board.
discussion,
Let them discuss it.
yeah.
We make it into a motion, formal motion.
I'll make a motion, we send the price of 11 signs to Budget and Finance, let them knock it down or accept it.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion approved. Let's go ahead and, I will tell you, since I've reviewed all the bid documents for the Coffee County Animal Shelter, it's taken me a while because it's a very extensive, set of drawings, and the spec book. I'm gonna tell you what I feel like. You know, of course, we redesigned it. They have cut everything I think that they can cut out of it. Is there bells and whistles in there? Some. It's not where it was at before. We have all seen the, you know, the basic design of what we had before when we had St. John and Aaron, was you involved in this too? The animal shelter? Okay. So it was pretty well, I've been talking with Scott, and he is ready whenever we're ready to send it on to them for getting the bid documents finalized and put out for bid. I will tell you what my recommendation is here in just a second. I have really looked over these drawings. It's took me a while because it is so big and there's so many different facets to the whole project. I don't think we've left anything out. I think everything has been discussed and been, the property has been, we were having some issues with the sewer line. That's been resolved. We got permission from the owners of that property to run our line back through, behind the jail and hit the main sewer main. So, and we've gotten permission from the city to do that tap. So everything appears to be working in our favor for a change. If we'd have built this back before COVID, it'd probably be half the price of whatever it's gonna be right now. But the issue is, materials are not gonna go down. Cost of labor is definitely not gonna go down. So my recommendation to this committee will be, after I've reviewed everything, would be to approve it, to send it on back to St. John Engineering for it to be put out to bid. We're not gonna ever know what it's gonna cost us until we get it put out there. We know what we have in our funds right now. I have communicated some to Budget and Finance, just off the wall stuff to them, and they're kind of prepared. Let's put it that way, but we'll never know what the price is until we get it put out here for bid. We have an estimate of what we think it's gonna cost, but we need to get it out now, I think, and turn him loose and let him go and get it put out for bidding purposes. Now, that's just my recommendation. Drawings have not changed since we all looked at them together in here with Scott. So, but they are finalized drawings. They're very well put together.
Well, I make a motion, we get it to Scott, move forward on it before the prices go up on it.
Motion made by Commissioner Brown,
I'll second it.
second by Commissioner Reed to approve and send on to St. John Engineering.
Question right quick,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman. Is this initial drawings going back for bid, did it include any asphalt paving around the building?
Yes, it did.
Okay,
And there's there is, there is an alternate to remove the asphalt around the backside. It's an option. We gave,
to
they're
allow
gonna,
for
yes.
expansion, right?
To allow for expansion and/or to cut cost. We tried to figure out ways to be able to cut cost. They're in the bid documents, there's some alternates that we can choose or not choose.
We know that we're hopefully, fingers crossed, we get started on this before TDOT starts the road widening. So we're not spending money on driveway connections that we can't get reimbursed for by TDOT if they cut it up or anything.
Correct.
We looked at that,
Yeah,
right?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to be sure.
So we have a motion made and seconded. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. I'll get that sent to Scott.
This is what we have to vote on next.
I made a mistake on our last meeting, wasn't the last meeting?
Yeah.
And I've been called on it by Commissioner Watkins, which I appreciate that. He keeps me straight. We had a motion made and for approval
Of the community room.
Community room.
Rental agreement.
rental agreement. And we'd made a motion, we approved it, and we actually even.
We
set
had a
the
motion,
paperwork.
yeah, Commissioner Hirschman made the motion, I seconded it, and we didn't vote on it.
And we forgot, somebody didn't.
We just moved on,
So, does everybody remember the motion? Everybody, okay.
yeah.
So what we had a motion, it's been made and it's been seconded, and we've had discussion on it, and we just need to vote on it. So, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No.
I would request the motion be repeated.
The motion was,
Made the motion that the rental would need to be paid 1 week in advance before the reservation date, and that the prices would be $100, $200, and $250 for the respective hours of allotment.
Thank you.
And we'll still-
Benefit of those watching.
yeah.
Yes.
And we won't be charging the county, any entity of the county does not get charged for use of that facility. And so that's all we need on that one. Update on the walls, I'm not sure how Rick is proceeding, but I know he is proceeding with that, getting the walls taken care of. And let's move on to, I guess that's all of that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. New business, item number 7A, I'm gonna hold off on it, and that's just from, a report from Rick. Rick did not get to make it tonight, but I got a little bit I wanna discuss with you about what he gave me. So we'll move to item number B, and that's, HVAC units for the jail that we added to the agenda. And to be able to speak on that will be our sheriff, if he would like to go ahead and give us his thoughts.
We've been fighting, for the last year and a half, we've been fighting some units on top of the jail. They're slowly dying. Last year we had, well, not last year, this past January when the snowstorm hit and it got so cold, we had one unit down during that. and, we're kind of limited on how we can heat the jail. Because you don't have electrical outlets in those cells, so we had to violate every policy and rule there was and put propane heaters in the cells with gas tanks. It's the only way we could keep them warm. Monday, we had 3 units act up, and half the jail heat was down. And Lee Company's been coming and servicing them. And the units that own the jail, the company, that they don't exist anymore. The parts are hard to find. They kind of have to work outside the box to piecemeal them. Right now, they're just, would literally say they're just kind of hot wired for heat right now. I'm making a suggestion that maybe Rick and others get together and just kind of analyze what we need to do to start gradually
Doing a replacement schedule.
doing a replacement schedule, starting with the 3 troublemakers that we've got up there. And
Terry, do you remember how many units is up on that? I was thinking like 20 or so.
Yeah.
there's 18 to 20 units, and they're several ton units. You know, the one up over mine in Frank's office isn't working either, evidently.
That covers the front admin
But
section.
I'm not, you know, for us, we can make do. But I can't with that jail, and we're keeping temperature logs for lawsuit purposes, and we start getting messages from inmates, which is a record, and I mean, we have to act on it, and it's just hard to move 200 people to another jail. I don't like it no more than anybody else, but I mean, that building is, you know, with kitchen items and that, I mean, it's just wear and tear. It's just gonna start, these are the things that we're gonna start dealing with. And it's hard to imagine, you know, it's they're 10 years on them, but these units anymore aren't made to last. I mean,
No.
this building had carrier units on it that were working, they were 40 years old. And these units now, I've had some folks up there, and they've never heard of the brand of them, and the brand doesn't exist anymore, so to speak, and it's hard to get parts for them. But, I don't know what else to tell you.
Well, I know you're, I'm gonna just make a comment right now before we get any further with it, but I do know your problem. Of course, I've been able to be up on that roof. I know the units you have, they're an off-brand. They were an off-brand when they were bought, and they were actually almost obsolete when they were bought. It's the nature of the beast when you deal with a company that's doing a design build, and they're gonna save money however they can save. Now, of course, we're stuck with that. That being said, I know the units right now, those ones up there are probably made to maybe last 7 years, and I don't even know if you got a good 7 years out of them running when they did run. So I'm gonna suggest that we go ahead and get Rick to start getting some quotes on getting them replaced, and the worst ones first. And you're gonna have to decide where that boundary is. And it may not be just one unit or two, it may have to be several to keep. I understand your issue on the cell blocks. You gotta take care of that part first.
That's what I would suggest, you know, as far as administration and, you know, the civilian side of the building.
I mean, we can deal with
We
that.
can deal with that, but on the inmate side of the building and the kitchen part and the medical part, I think we've got the train contract service folks have got a good, or not the train, the lead company group has got a good handle because they've looked at all of them, and they could probably give us a priority, next priority, and, you know,
A list of
1
them.
through
Yep.
10, you start here. And, you know, the ones that are running, but the ones that, these three troublemakers for sure would probably need to be the quickest. And then, you know, I don't want to replace something we don't have to replace.
Right.
But if we can get those over the top of the actual jail cells, and the rest of us will be fine. We can, you know, we can survive with a fan and electric heaters, as needed, but it really rears its head when we get down in these temperatures like we are right now, and
Yeah.
it's kind of scary.
Well, you're makeshifting right now. All you're doing is every time it changes the weather from winter to summer, you have an issue. And then now going from summer to winter, the issue is jumped up again and biting us. I mean, it's something that we need to get addressed because it's not going to get any better. So I'm gonna make a recommendation. I'll make the motion, actually, that we go ahead and get Rick to get on with, getting some quotes. We're gonna probably put it out to bid, so he can go ahead and get with, Mariana and that stuff, so we can get some quotes on it, so we can get it turned in.
I'll second your motion to get Rick to get some quotes.
So I made the motion, and, Commissioner Jimmy Hollingsworth has seconded. Any more discussion on that?
I got something to say.
Go ahead.
Have we not got a facility engineer or somebody that looks at the work that we have done before we pay for shoddy work like that? Or cheap work? Before we pay
That
'em?
project had a construction manager, I
That-
believe.
Yep.
That was a hired person for the county. That was their job to, and Terry can tell a little bit more about what that job is, but from
Yep.
what I understood, they worked for the county to look out for the best interest of the county.
Which they probably didn't,
I don't know.
with
I
the
mean,
cheap
There
units.
was an ad hoc jail construction oversight committee, but it didn't have a Terry Hirschman on it.
No.
Well, maybe the next time before we spend a lot of money, we need to have somebody look at it before we pay.
I think that'll be standard procedure
I-
from now on.
What's good is, I'm very easy to be used, okay? I'm watching over the health department, part of it, along with the mayor and along with St. John Engineering. And, probably with Aaron too, I believe, but, I'm gonna make sure, as long as I'm gonna sit in this room, in this committee, I'm gonna try to make sure everything's done in the best interest of Coffee County and our taxpayers, because it comes down to their money. And we
Right.
gotta be responsible for what we do with it. But yeah, I'm at an advantage that I can actually watch stuff now, so.
Don't forget to vote.
Oh,
We voted, didn't we?
we have, no,
No.
we have not voted. I'm on this one. We're still in discussion.
Okay.
Does anybody else got anything? I will say, you know, if it takes replacing several of them, it had to be, you know, it may have to be that right off the bat, because there may be some of them that you're not gonna get away with just one or
We were
two.
just looking at the overhead of it. There's 4 big units on
Per-
each pod.
That's what I was thinking, because you asked me how many was up there. I
Yeah.
thought it was 4 big
Yeah,
units.
it's 4 big units, one for each
How'd you
pod.
look, did you look air drop?
Yeah, he did.
Thank you,
yeah,
sir.
Yeah, he did the aerial view.
Yep. So any more discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion approved.
Mr. Chairman, there's one other thing. I know it's not on the agenda before I go to this other meeting, and y'all were talking about some stuff I need to, I don't know if Rick's brought it up to y'all, but we probably should, and we can put it on the agenda for another meeting, but y'all need to be thinking about replacing the red light and the red light system at Hillsborough.
I'm already on that.
Got you, Mayor, thank you.
T-Dot and me are already talking.
Okay, that popped in because we have a lot of trouble out there too, so That's the one and only red light you're responsible for.
It is. Yeah.
And that's one too many.
My suggestion, so everybody can start hollering at me, and I've done talked with our highway commission that met yesterday, is I feel like, in talking to school bus director Tim Morris, there's no room to make a turning lane on 127 coming from Hillsborough Elementary School. So putting an arrow in the traffic light does not solve the problem. Because if you have one or two cars that are wanting to go to Viola, they're gonna set through the arrow.
Right.
There's no room for a lane. My suggestion is we're gonna make that do what we did on Highway 53 and Pelham. Put a four-way stop, permanent. Everybody takes turns and traffic just keeps moving.
Well, Mayor,
Oh.
I usually agree with you in a lot of means, but in my 30-something years of working traffic, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on the four-way stop in Hillsborough. And, because Highway 41 is a much heavier traffic flow state road than 53. And we don't have the fatality rate there at that intersection for a reason, like they did on 53. I know it's going to be cheaper to take the light down and put four-way stops up, but you're going to see a high increase of fatalities and injury deaths, or high rate of injury wrecks at that intersection with a four-way stop.
It's working in Pelham, and that is US Highway 41.
It is, but the 127 traffic and 41, I think the studies will show it's.
What's your suggestion? This is
Re-
capital outlay, we're talking about traffic.
Yeah, well.
What's your suggestion?
Replace the light.
Replace the light and put the updated sensors in the ground and just replace
That
what.
won't solve it. How you gonna turn our school buses left?
I'm not, guys, I'm not talking about the traffic flow. I'm talking about the light itself and the dilapidated control box and the new, I think they got above ground sensors.
They've got a light sensor
Yeah,
now that's a
I'm
camera.
I'm not talking about that, but if you go back to a four-way stop, if that was the case, you just go back and put it as a caution light like it was all of my early adult life. You would be there because you got a primary road, of State Route number 2, which is US 41. You'd be better off going back to a caution light,
Would that be the same thing?
but you're talking about a four-way stop.
Correct.
41 has always been a non-stop until they put the red light in.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I'm just, a lot of us Hillsborians never liked the red light, but,
Including me, I don't like it.
but yes, it's been difficult for me all my life turning at the old post office with trucks and trailers, semi-trucks and trailers, going south on 127. But I think a four-way stop, we have to do a four-way caution on it, Mayor, every once in a while when that messes up. And it's very difficult, but I think if you are wanting to do that, and it's y'all's decision, but I think the four-way stop sign, both directions, I think it could cause some damage down the road because of the high flow there.
You keep thinking about it, okay?
Yes, sir, I will. And also, just keep in mind, Highway 53 is not a detour route for I-24. So if we have a bad wreck on I-24, that means that we have got to go man that to keep that traffic flowing, whereas we can, with a new control system, we could probably remote control it.
You can. The new ones you can.
The new ones you could remote control, and that would allow us, the highway patrol, Aaron and them with the fire department, to click and control it there. I mean, we've had to drill the box out. I mean, it's wore out and whatnot. But anyway, I know it wasn't on there, but I do appreciate you looking into it. No disrespect.
Well, it does, like I said, the school bus drivers are the ones that has the problems.
Well, a four-way stop is not gonna change making that turn, because when they pile up there's just no more room. And that four-way stop it's not gonna change the car sitting there to make that turn. Does that make sense?
No. You take turns at a four-way stop until everybody's
But-
moving. Somebody's moving at all
It is,
times.
but what the buses are talking about is the tight radius of the turn
Yeah.
getting in.
That's not what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that they're setting through 2 cycles of green lights
That's
of
because
the-
the sensors are messed up. We need to just redo this intersection with new sensors and fix the light.
Okay,
That's,
And I'm pretty sure we could even,
Okay.
the technology's even there, that we could install something in the buses.
during school, you can control it more during time.
That way they could actually hit the light going out to where it would stop
are
everybody.
you saying remote control in the bus?
Yeah.
No, remote contrling the lights.
No, they
during
have-
the times.
Huh?
Optic elevators, like in emergency vehicles.
Yeah, they've got it to where it,
Flashes the infrared light at a certain-
and it sees that, oh, that's a bus. You could make it to where it would stop 41, stop both ways, stop 127 coming this way, and make that
A
almost
priority.
like a
Well, I've
priority.
asked for recommendations from TDOT.
And that way, if somebody is trying to
I don't
turn,
want us to
they
be
don't have
paying
to
for
sit
the
there through
light.
this traffic coming.
You own, that is your light.
I know it, and I
West.
don't want us to keep paying it. We're spending a lot of time with it.
Yeah, I know, but,
I would expect TDOT would require traffic engineer to stay at that intersection.
yeah.
For any improvement.
But anyway, y'all do what you want. I
Stop
mean,
sign, red light, or
it
other.
just,
And we still, I mean, we still got the four-way stop at, does Grundy County have to come down there and direct when they're doing a detour? I mean, that's a good point.
yeah, somebody, Highway Patrol,
The fire department's direct.
fire departments,
Yeah.
yeah,
Fire
Impel
guys.
'em.
Oh, yeah.
Fix that.
yeah. And the,
That way everybody's on the
yeah,
same.
and I don't know why the four-way stop would tell them, but it was,
I know why it went in there. The caverns. People coming off the interstate that don't live here and they're just running straight across.
and that's one reason the caution light left and the red light went up in Hillsborough. Yeah. Anyway, thank you, gotta go to law enforcement. Appreciate y'all.
You got
Thank-
another meeting to go to.
Yeah, and try not to come.
Well, I'll go ahead and give you what Rick gave me. He's right now, on the senior citizen building. He is about to get the floor done on it. He's having, of course, we're getting some complaints on it, but, it's in the middle of construction on the men's bathroom. They can still use that restroom, at this time, but the flooring is the issue right now. It's a welded floor system, and there's only one guy that does that in the state of, in Middle Tennessee.
And I,
So, we're
I
kinda
did,
waiting
I
on
did
them.
tell the two complainants that there was another bathroom in the back, so.
Yeah, there is another restroom in the back of the facility that they can use if it comes down to it, so. I can't give you the update on the community room. I know that Rick's working on that. Was there any other issue that we had with, that he was working on? I think that was it. And I know he'll get, well, the other one is the LED lighting, which we've already sent that on to, we're sending that on to Budget and Finance for them to get that took care of. And anything else? We need to set the date and time for the next meeting, which will be in January, and right now that would be on the 2nd. Is everybody okay with the 2nd of January, which is the day after New Year's?
I'll probably still be drunk.
Or at least hungover.
No, I'm just kidding.
Something.
Did y'all get to look at the courthouse?
I did.
That looks
I
really
like
good.
it. I like it. Looks good. And I saw the sign out in front of the Coffee County Library in Manchester too, and it looks really good.
Yeah.
Kind of has our look that we're doing on our, it's kind of just blended right together. So, yeah, looks good. Anything else?
Looks like it's fine.
Okay. 2nd at 4:00. And the only thing else we have is a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll
Motion
second it.
made and seconded, and all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Uh,
Aye. we're off. Thank you all for coming.